We are thrilled to be here with you. I'm Ana Carolina, and alongside my colleague Ágatha, we will be exploring some fundamental language concepts that are not only crucial for linguistics, but also directly relevant for learning or teaching a language.
That's right! We are third-year students of the English Language and Literature course at the State University of Londrina, and in today's discussion, we are going to help you understand how theoretical concepts can improve your language skills. Let's get started!
It's an integral part of our daily lives. It's how we express thoughts, connect with others, and make sense of the world. But beyond this, understanding how language works can empower both learners and educators. Theories and concepts about language aren't just abstract ideas. They shape how we teach, learn, and use language in real life. Let's dive into these ideas, starting with a concept introduced by one of the most influential linguistics in modern history.
Let's start with linguistic competence, a term formulated by Noam Chomsky. Linguistic competence refers to the unconscious knowledge that every speaker has about their language. This knowledge allows us to understand and produce sentences we've never heard before. Think of it as a mental grammar that gives us the ability to navigate language. Without this, we wouldn't be able to communicate effectively. To apply linguistic competence in the classroom, focus on building students' internal grammar and vocabulary. Use activities like sentence-building games or storytelling to help them unconsciously absorb the rules of English.
On the other hand, linguistic performance is how we actually use the knowledge in real-life situations. Factors like stress, distractions, or social pressure can affect performance, even though our linguistic competence remains intact. This difference is essential because, as educators, we need to recognize that sometimes errors in language use aren't about lack of knowledge, they are about external factors. As educators, we must create tasks where students can apply their skills without fear of mistakes. For example, a role-play asking for directions helps students use language practically, while building confidence.
Next, let's consider the distinction between descriptive and prescriptive grammar. Descriptive grammar is how language is actually spoken by people. It's observed from real-world usage. For example, if many native speakers say ain't instead of isn't, descriptive grammar takes that into account, is non-judgmental.
Prescriptive grammar, on the other hand, is about rules, telling people how language should be used. It's more formal and aims to maintain a standard version of the language. As teachers, it's important to balance these two, respect how people speak, while also teaching the standard forms.
Now, let's talk about language variation, a key concept from sociolinguistics. Language changes based on where you are, who you're with, and what the situation is. This is why we have dialects and registers. For example, someone might say y'all in Texas, while someone in London says you all. The same person might speak very formally in a job interview, but casually at home with friends.
Understanding this is crucial in language teaching. We need to expose students to different registers so they know when and how to switch between informal and formal language based on the context.
Lastly, let's touch on language acquisition. There are two types. First, language acquisition, which refers to how children learn their native language naturally. And second, language acquisition, which is the process of learning an additional language later in life.
Key theories like Stephen Question's input hypothesis and Michael Long's interaction hypothesis emphasize that exposure and interaction are vital for learning. For instance, a teacher can create meaningful communication tasks that require students to use English in real-life scenarios, mimicking the natural acquisition process.
In conclusion, understanding these concepts isn't just for academics. It has real implications for teaching and learning English. Recognizing how students use language, what affects their performance, and how they acquire new skills can make a huge difference in the classroom.
We encourage you to apply these insights in your teaching or learning journey. Ask yourself, how can I create an environment where learners can perform their best? How can I balance descriptive and prescriptive approaches?
Thank you for joining us today. Keep exploring these ideas, whether through research, practice, or reflection. Continue to refine your understanding of language for improve your teaching and learning practices.